can you give us a bit of an update, injuries, where we have Byro, Elliott?
Elliott's day to day with upper body. He's getting closer, potentially back at some point this week. I'd say Byro is probable. He practiced today. I haven't talked to the medical staff post practice yet, but he looked good, so I'd say he's probable.
Everybody else, all right?
I think so. Yeah.
By this time of year, you have a few bumps and bruises to get that ready. All right, so you've got 6 games left. You got a few practice days and games to work on certain things. Is there something in particular you want to see this team move on before the playoffs?
I think it's really important that we just keep our edge. We've had a solid 10 game run here. Realistically, it's probably been 20, 25 where we've been playing much better hockey. The last 10, obviously, we've gotten a little better results. You just want to make sure you keep your edge. If you ever start to feel like you've got it figured out, you usually lose it really quick. So, today it was just about keeping our edge, focusing on our identity and trying to be great at the things that we care about, and making sure that we're sharp and we're crisp and ready for a big game tomorrow night.
Overtime and shootout games, and so it seems like you've learned to play a little bit tighter games, especially down the third period. You've done a great job of playing with the lead, I think, much better than earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think that, most nights, a lot of nights, you got 4 or 5 rookie forwards in the lineup. You got, probably 8 or 9 of your 12 forwards are guys that are 18 to 23, 24 years old. And I think that they're maturing, in front of our eyes as a group. That older group, the Byro, Rusek, Murray, Weisbach part of that group is starting to be more comfortable having the pressure of being drivers for us and having to deliver every night. And the rookies are starting to understand how you need to play to help your team win here, not just to score. So, we've been better of late. I think we're just playing better team defense. So when you play better team defense, that's collectively playing better team defense. You give yourself a better chance to win those close games, especially at this time of the year.
2 games, what's making them so good this year?
Syracuse got a heck of a team. They're well coached. They have good structure. They have very good team defense. They have some high end American League players, and they got a good depth. Guys like Barbelet and Myers, and some of those guys are, you could argue that they're some of the best players in the whole league at their positions. And so when you have a mix of some of the high end they have, and then the quality of depth and structure, they're a really quality team, and we know how demanding they are to play against.
I remember we talked the offseason that every year you have to turn the page and kind of start a new chapter. But what can you take back from the previous chapter, a previous postseason run, that you can use to write this new story? I know it's different, it's a different team, but what can you take from what you guys did last year, getting hot at this time, going out runs using this?
Well, I think that the guys that were here last year can have gained and earned confidence and belief in playing in these situations, playing in these big moments, playing at this time of the year. So that's a huge thing. That it's not the first time through it now for, Weisbach and Rusek and Byro and Murray and some of those guys. And then collectively, those guys have, you throw Mersch and Prowl and some of the guys that are back, and Malone and Elliott and Tischke and Warren. And they've earned trust from each other that they're willing to do the hard things necessary at this time of the year to give your team a chance to be successful.
I feel like this, you said the last 20 games, but you got a point in 9 out of the last 10 and 8 straight. Does it feel like the confidence is clicking at the right time? I talked to Murray, he said you never want to feel overly confident, but does it feel like you're playing some of your best hockey right now?
Yeah, I think we're playing our best hockey of the year in this last 20 games or so. And as a coach, that's what you're always aiming for. You want to get better as the year goes on. Sometimes you don't for one reason or another. But I think that we are playing good hockey right now, and it's the big thing was 20 games ago was getting the guys to believe what we were doing was going to pay off because we weren't always getting the results. We were playing a great week and we'd go 1-1-1 or 1-2 or whatever it was. And you, as much as you try to be process focused, results can impact your belief and your confidence. They just can. And so I think that was the most important thing is we got the guys to believe and buy into the path we were on was the right path in terms of how we were playing and some of the adjustments we had made. And that if we kept playing that way, we were going to get rewarded.
How proud of you, I guess, of this team, the way they've come back in some of these games, being down 3-0 on the road in Utica, and having that's kind of what this team had last year, was this like magic confidence that no matter what the score is, we can come back. What is it about that works? I guess I don't know how to explain it. Like, can you put it into words of, I'm sure you'd rather not be down 3-0. That's not how I'd like to throw it out.
But yeah, no, we did it against Hershey at home. We were able to do it against Utica. It's not a script for success, so you don't want to do it all the time. But I think it is important once in a while to do those things because it shows the guys that they're never out of it. This group's got a lot of fight. They've got a lot of spirit. And I think that like last year's group, the feeling is earned. Last year's group loved playing for each other. They loved being Amerks. And as I said to you this summer, like that doesn't automatically mean this group is gonna. And it doesn't just happen. And it has to galvanize over the course of a season. And you have moments that you look for as a coach to help galvanize it, but you have moments that the players just have to do it themselves. And, I do believe that, I don't know how many games ago it was, but maybe it was in that 15 games ago or so. Larry Pilot fought a 6'7" guy when he took a dirty run at Yuri Kulik. And the next night, Michael Mersch fought a defenseman on Syracuse for taking a shot at Roseanne. And that's not Pilot and Mersch's role. That's not their nature. That's not their norm. I do think that those moments, and there's others, but those are things that help bring a team together. And you try, as a coach, you're trying to go from a team that plays with each other to being a team that plays for each other. And it sounds similar, but it's so different. And when you have a team that plays for each other, and I think Kisakov's block shot that led to the goal was a good example of that. That's a 19-year-old, young, talented forward who isn't in every night right now for development purposes. There was nothing fake about that block shot. It wasn't stand straight up and let's see if it hits me or not. It was one knee down, put my chest in front of it. Those are good signs that the guys are playing for each other.
You always talk about how that high pushes, and I don't always mean to be going back, but like building off that success. And Murray talks about how the atmosphere here in the playoffs, and you can't go right to the playoffs at the start of the season. You have to go through a grind. Does it feel like things are ramping up now? You can kind of taste playoff hockey, knowing that meaningful, everything is right around the corner. Does it feel different? I know we talked in January that it was the dog days of the season. Now does it feel like you're playing, 2 weeks of playoff hockey before playoff hockey?
I think we've been playing it for 15 to 20 games already, and so I think our guys have been in that mode for most of the last month and a half. By excitement of this time of the year and playing in meaningful games, and by necessity of how tight the standings were and where we were at and where we continue to be at. So I think we've been in that mode. And I think what we've done a really good job of late is we haven't worried about the standings. We're not worried about the standings. We're not worried about other games around the league. We're worried about our game. We're worried about trying to be great at practice today. Guys had a great practice today. Perfect. That's a win. It's not a win in the standings. It's not 2 points, but that's a win. That gets us one step closer to being a good hockey team tomorrow. And all we worry about this week is tomorrow. And the focus is on trying to put a good effort out against a really good Syracuse team to give yourself a chance to win. And then we'll worry about the next after that. Joey. Do you have any questions for me, buddy? First of all, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. It's always good to have a fellow goaltender in the house. Do you have any questions for me? Sure.
How do we go from 7-year-old hockey to the Appert? What is the best?
Have fun. That number one job in youth hockey for the coaches, for the parents, for the players. Have fun. Work hard, compete, be a great teammate, and have fun. The rink should be the most fun place you go every day. Is the rink fun? Right? Do you play hockey because it's fun? Yeah. There's nothing better than playing hockey. And some of my best memories are being a little kid, Cottage Grove, Minnesota, and playing with my teammates from my hometown. That's a lot of them I still stay in touch with today. So that's the best thing I can tell you is just keep having a blast. That deal? Thanks for coming.